Is the price of food in Nigeria as a result of a monopoly and a propaganda against the East and the West by the Northerners? Are the Northerners intentionally refusing to supply food to Nigeria because they do not like the East and the West? Before we get through to this video, I just saw a video on TikTok and I randomly want you guys to listen to it. As a food and agric investor, trust me, I know her pain. Everybody can feel her pain, but let's listen to what she's saying and then we'll dissect it after. Let's start.
When is this nonsense going to stop? This rubbish, when is it going to stop? I know I may cut across as being tribalistic in this post, but please hear me. Hear beyond the tribalism. Hear beyond that. Why is it that some certain people in Nigeria, year in, year out, like to hold the rest of the world, hold the rest of the country to a ransom? Why? Why is it that the Northerners feel it is good to hold a propaganda over food every year? Every year they do this. They intentionally hoard tomato, hoard things. I know when it's going to stop. When the South, the West, the Middle Belt, the Niger Delta, and everyone but the Northerners decide to start producing their own food.
So let's start. She just mentioned two things I want to capitalize on. First, she said the Northerners hoard food and then use it as a weapon against other parts of Nigeria. We intentionally refuse supply tomato, and yet Northerners are suffering from lack of tomato. Make it make sense. I know this comes from an ignorant perspective, because as somebody who is in the business, who is in the industry, who lives in northern Nigeria and is facing almost the same food crisis as the East and the West, this is what I have to say about these things. When it comes to food production right now in northern Nigeria, let's say before we used to produce 100, guess how many we are producing now? 15. The cost of food production is no longer for the poor man. Only rich people can farm now, because if a poor man decides to plant some things, he will just manage the little that he can get. Fertilizer, transportation even to the farm, you want to go to the farm to do your work, they kidnap you there. So tell me how people expect the production rate of 2020, 2019 backwards, when insecurity was not at the all-time high, to be the same as now and in 2024. Hoarding it. Is that really the problem? Are we really hoarding it? Abi is not available. There are videos of people in Plateau State say, there's no tomato again, in Plateau State. There's no Plateau State that is capital of tomato. There's no longer tomato in Plateau State. Let's continue this explanation, because now we know that we are not hoarding. There are problems that are causing hoarding. Let's continue.
Because it will never make sense to me why beans is now 75,500 for a bag, and tomatoes has become 100 and something thousand, even from mile 12. Why?
Why is the price of things the way they are in the East and the West? Simple and short: transportation. Do you know how much diesel is? Do you know how much fuel is? How much do you transport yourself within Lagos? How much would it cost to transport tomato from Sokoto long to the east, to the west? Do you know how much that would cost? Most of the trucks that even transport this use diesel. Do you know how much a liter of diesel is as at today? Now you know transportation is the main reason why these things are very expensive. Let's continue.
They like to dangle the food over our heads every year, and obviously food is life. Why? It is a propaganda and nobody can even tell me otherwise. They do this every year. Have you heard the prices of ram?
She mentioned the prices of ram, and that's where I'm even going to stop, because I'm not here to fight anybody or to argue about anything. I'm just here to educate people. Now, the food crisis in Nigeria is not a propaganda. If you have that idea, if you conceive it in your mind, please kill it. Northerners are some of the most simple people you would ever come across. A profit of 10%, 5% is more than enough for an average Northerner. So if you think that they are dangling food in your front and expecting you to pay more, you should have to think again. You should have to think again. As a Northerner, it is hard. Tomato, pepper, everything is hard. I'll be visiting the biggest food market in Kano State, Dawano Market, and I'll bring you guys updates so that you understand that it is not any different for us here in the north. And the thing that makes it very different for those in the east and the west is transportation, long and short. I hope this video has educated people enough. I have been in the industry. All I do is help people invest in agribusiness. I have an agric investment company that would help you invest in agribusiness, help you get profit out of it. So if you want to invest in that, you are interested in that, for more inquiries, just send a message and we'll respond to you. I'll see you guys in other videos. Bye bye.